Hola pessoal, welcome to Kingdom Influencer. I hope that you guys had a fantastic week despite it all, despite what happened or what didn't happen. I hope that you guys still managed to feel the presence of God. I have a very quick message today. I believe it's a message that comes with a certain instruction. I will come and say this already, that this word might not be for everyone. So check with God and find out if this word is for you and if these instructions are for you. The word can be for you, but the instruction might not be for you. So the word today comes from the book of Esther, Esther chapter 4, verse 15 and 16. So the word of the Lord says, Then Esther told them to reply to Mordecai, Go and gather all the Jews who are present in Susa and fast for me. Neither eat nor drink for 3 days, night or day. My maid and I will fast likewise. So I will go to the king, which is against the law, and if I perish, I perish. So guys, the Lord took me to this part of the passage, and I was like, Lord, what is it that you're trying to say? What is it that you're trying to say? For a few days, I went back and forth with God to find out what the Lord was trying to say. And eventually, when I was able to hear from God, He told me, do not focus on Esther, but focus on the instruction that was given to the Jews. Focus on the Jews. And I was like, okay, Lord, I'm focusing. Yes, Lord, the Jews. And God was saying to me, Esther had told the Jews that they had to fast and pray for her for 3 days, night and day. And the Lord asked me, what were they praying for? What was this assignment given to them for? And the Lord later on said to me, they were given this assignment for them to pray for Esther for something that she was about to do. They were praying for Esther, covering her, interceding for her, standing in the gap for her, for something that she was about to do. Something that was going to take place 3 days from when she told them to fast and pray. We all know the story of Esther and why she had to fast and pray. It's because she was going to go into the presence of the king, and she was going to do something that was going to be life-changing, something that was going to go down in the books and be like, yeah, she made history. We all know the story. But sometimes we tend to forget the people that helped her in that journey, the people that stood in the gap for her. And that's where God wanted me to focus. That's where God actually took and put my attention on. It was on the Jewish people. And as God went on and just, spoke to me concerning that, the Lord said to me, now I'm going to take this back and I'm going to present it to you on why this word is important for where you are at now. And we know that Esther knew what she had to do. Esther knew why she was doing that, but she needed people to stand in the gap for her. She needed people that understood why this was important. She needed people that got their assignment that she had, or the assignment that God had presented her with. She knew the people that she had to save. It was her own people. So they connected. And God said to me, this is a time where I need you, where I need my people to stand in the gap for their spouses. And the Lord said, I want them to intercede, to stand in the gap, because they are about to make decisions. They are about to make big decisions that is gonna change their lives. They are about to make decisions, not only decisions that includes you, but decisions that have to do with business, decisions that have to do with ministry, decisions that have to do with family. They're about to make decisions, and they need you, the person that God has already connected them with, whether it be naturally, whether it be in the physical, whether it be spiritually by you getting things from God and you don't know this person. But we know from our teaching this week that when we are in the perfect will of God, He pours down, He presents us to things, to people that are already in His will. So we learned that free will is no longer an option with our spouses, and you are already connected to them. The same way that Esther was connected to the Jews because they shared the same lineage, they shared the same heritage, they shared the same culture. You are connected to your spouse already because you have been connected. You and him are already one in the spirit. His battle is your battle. His victory is your victory. Even if you don't know him now, the victories that he is having or that she is having, those victory, you are going to take part of that fruit. You are going to enjoy those victories when you guys meet. Because you know that everything that he's doing now, the same way that everything that you are doing now, it is for a greater good. It's for a greater good. And these things are things that are preparing you into marriage. These things are that are preparing your guys' future. Not only the wedding day, not only when you guys are gonna have your kids, but it is preparing you for 10 years from now. It is preparing you for 5 years from now. So you know that whatever he is battling with, and I believe most of us, sometimes we like, oh my gosh, I feel this anguish. Oh my gosh, I feel this sadness. Oh my gosh, I feel like my spouse isn't okay. I know I've been through that. There are days where I call my friends and I'm like, my spouse is not fine. I call my brother and I'm like, we need to pray for your brother-in-law because he is not fine, because I can feel it, because we have already been connected in the spirit, in the spiritual realm. We already know each other. We are already one. The only thing that is missing now, and I believe with most of you, the ones that haven't met their couple or their spouses, is now to meet in the physical, now to meet here in the natural realm. So we know that, like I've said, your victory is his victory. Your battle is his battle. So now God is telling you that right now, he needs you or she needs you to stand in the gap for her. She needs you. He needs you to intercede, because they're about to make changes. They're about to make decisions that's going to change everything. They're about to make big decisions, and decisions that their family isn't going to take lightly on, that their friends are going to think they're crazy. They're about to make decisions that their bosses is about to think that they are crazy. So God needs you to stand in the gap. The Jewish people stood in the gap for Esther so that Esther could have that boldness, that confidence, so that she could build strength to go to the king and present the request that she had, so that she could go to the king and invite him for dinner, invite the enemy for dinner, so that her people could be saved. The same people that were standing in the gap for her depended on what she was doing. And God is saying, what you were standing in the gap for concerning your spouse, you need that as well. You need that as well. The Lord has been speaking to me about how people are about to move, how people are about to relocate. And that is something that is not to be taken lightly. That's literally leaving behind what you knew, is leaving behind where you felt safe, where you felt secure. And there are spouses out there that are about to make this change. So God is saying, I need you to stand in the gap for them, because this move, this relocation, it is for you guys to meet. This relocation is concerning the kingdom purpose, is concerning the kingdom marriage. But I need you to intercede for them so that they can have courage, so that they can build strength, so that they can have wisdom, so that they can have boldness and confront and do whatever it needs that they need to do. I really get a strong sense that there are spouses right now that are about to make big business decisions, businesses that can take them into a new bracket, a salary bracket. And the Lord is saying, you intercede for them. You stand in the gap for them. About 2 days ago, I was with my friend, and I was just telling her, like, praying for someone that you don't know. I was like, that my friend is true intercession. And I was like to her, like, sometimes it gets hard. It gets hard, you interceding, you fighting for someone that you have not seen, that sometimes you don't even know their names, but you are out there slaying demons. You are out there losing sleep. You are out there fasting for them. And I said to her, like, I've been through this battle, but this time it's different because I don't know in the natural who I am fighting these demons for, who I am covering, who I am standing in the gap for. And we laughed about it. And I knew while we were laughing, I knew that when I got home, the Lord would say something to me. And that's exactly what he did. He said to me, intercession is an act of love. You praying for someone that you don't know is an act of love. That's you being selfless. That's you dying to yourself. And he took me to John 15:3, and it says, greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for a friend. And when I read for a friend, God said to me, put next to it for a spouse. And then the Lord went further on, and he took me to 1 John verse 4. I always say verse. 1 John chapter 4 verse 20. And in the Amplified, it says, if anyone says, I love God, and hates, works against his Christian brother, he is a liar. For the one who does not love his brother whom he sees cannot love God whom he has not seen. And the Lord said to me, he asked me, do you love me? And I said, yes, Lord. And he said, have you seen me physically? And I said, no, Lord. I said, no, Lord, I haven't. And he says, but you love me, right? And I said, yes, I love you. And then he took me back to the conversation that I had with my friend. And he said to me, your act of intercession, you interceding, is you loving, is an act of love. The intercession that you are putting in for your spouse, the prayers that you are putting in for your spouse, it is an act of love. And you don't have to see him for you to love him. You connect with God spiritually. You have a connection with God spiritually. You have intimacy with God spiritually. And God is saying, it is the same with your spouse. For the ones that do not know them physically, God is saying that interaction that I have allowed you to have in the spiritual realm of knowing who he is, of knowing his character, of knowing his gift, of knowing his calling. You have received that from spirit to spirit. And if you can love God, whom you have not seen, then you are well capable of loving your spouse who you have not seen. Because this is working from spirit to spirit. The Bible says that the things of the spirit can only be understood by the Spirit. You can't understand spiritual things with your carnal mind. It's spirit to spirit. And when you intercede for them, you are acting in love. It is you acting in love. And as I'm recording this, it's like I'm picking up from God, Him saying that your intercession right now, it is your love language. Your intercession right now, for those that don't know their spouse, intercession is your love language. And I believe this is even for the people that already know who their spouse is. This is for the people that have prodigals. The Lord is saying this is a love language that in the spiritual realm, it is well understood and it is received so well, because you are laying yourself down. You are laying your life down for a brother, for a friend, for your spouse. And as you intercede for them, some of you guys are coming up against the spirit of death in his family. Some of you guys are coming against serpent spirits of delay. Some of you guys are coming up against, and you guys are standing in the gap for them, against the spirit of poverty. You guys are standing in the gap for them because the decisions that they are about to make is going to be decisions that are life-changing. Decisions that are going to change their lives, change their family's life, change their generational's life. It is going to be decisions that is going to change your life as well. And the instruction in all of this is that the Lord says that there are specific people that He is going to touch, that He's going to speak with you. This is going to be confirmation to you that you need to fast for your husband for 3 days. Others of you are going to pray for your husband for 3 days, intercede for them for 3 days. And as you are fasting for them, the Lord is going to start showing you. You are going to start having dreams. You are going to start having visions of what you need to stand in the gap for them for, what you need to pray for them for, what you need to cry out to God for them for, what you need to come before God and petition on their behalf for. The Lord will tell you what type of fast you need to do. Let Him lead your prayers. Don't come knowing, or don't come saying, God, I'm going to do this and this and this. No, you are standing in the gap for this person. You are here to receive instructions. The people of Israel received Esther's instruction. So right now, God is going to give you instructions. God's going to tell you what you need to do, whether it's a fast, whether it's praying, whether it's waking up at a certain time and praying for them. Whatever it is, do it being led by God. And let God show you. God will reveal things to you. God will show you what it is they are battling with. God will show you what it is that needs to be broken off of them, off of their family. God will show you what it is that they are preparing themselves for. Some of you guys are going to get that your spouse is actually moving. It's not you moving, but it's your spouse moving. It's your spouse relocating. You are going to know about his family stuff. You are going to know about business. You are going to know about his job, about a position. Whatever it is, God will reveal it to you. So this instruction isn't for everyone. This instruction is almost like a confirmation. This instruction is going to confirm for those that have already been picking up and perceiving this in the spirit. And if this is something that you are hearing for the first time, you are going to feel that instant conviction from God. Do everything led by God. Don't do stuff because it sounds good, because it sounds like, hey, this could work. No. Do it because you are being led by God. Don't do it because other people are doing it. Don't do it because whoever said it, but do it because the Holy Spirit said it. And I'm going to be like really bold in saying this, but the Lord keeps reminding me that after 3 days, after 3 days, Esther presented this. Esther told the children of Israel to do this. And after 3 days, that's when the whole process happened. She invited the king for dinner and Haman for dinner. And then another dinner came. And then after that, things changed. There was a turnaround in the situation. Lives were changed. Big decisions were made. And I am sensing that God is saying, after 3 days, the changes will be visible. Even if you don't see it, you will perceive it so strong in your spirit that you will know. After 3 days, the same way that after 3 days, Esther, the favor that was on Esther's life was so evident. The favor over your spouse's life, the favor over your life, it is going to be so evident. I'm just being reminded about a video that the Lord wants me to put out concerning favor. And I really believe that this is something that what I learned from it and what God instructed me to do concerning it, I started seeing the favor of God over my life, and I started picking up how the favor of God was actually operating in my spouse's life. Even though I have not met him physically, even though I have not seen him with my carnal eyes. And this is what God is saying. After 3 days, the favor will be evident. The favor will be evident. If they have a hard time, if they are having a hard time moving, relocating, starting that business, if they are having a hard time getting that new position, if they are having a hard time breaking free from family, if they are having a hard time breaking free from generational curses, the favor upon their life will be so evident. The grace of God will be so evident over their lives that you will perceive it, you will pick it up. And that favor will run down to you. You will be a part of that. Because when you do that, when you are fasting and praying for someone, what you are actually doing, when you are interceding for someone, what you are actually doing is that you are sowing a seed. And we know that with spiritual stuff, with things that come straight from God, when you sow a seed, you reap. So if you are sowing this into their lives, let's step out a little bit from spouses. Whoever's life that you sow into, through prayers, through whatever it is, you will always receive a harvest. You will receive a harvest. And God is saying, as you are sowing into your spouse's life, you will receive a harvest. You will receive a harvest. You are sowing in 5 minutes of prayer. Someone out there is praying for you for 15 minutes, for a whole hour. You are out here prophesying into someone else's life. Prophecy will come to you because you are sowing and you will reap. That's the principle of the kingdom of heaven. That's the principle of the kingdom where we come from, sowing and reaping. So you are sowing this into your spouse's life, whoever's life. My brother, my sister, I come boldly to tell you that you will reap. You will reap. I have gone through this. I have seen it. I see this every single day, and that's what brings me to tears. And if God has done it for me, if he keeps on doing this for me, he will do it for you, because his hands aren't short when it comes to you. He's not a God that chooses, no, this is the one. So I'm doing this for Jessica. I'm not going to do this for Sarah. If I'm doing this for Michael, I'm not going to do this for John. No. He is a God that is not a respecter of person. If he is doing it in my life, then he will do it in your life. And I'm going to say this again. After 3 days, whether it's after the 3 days of prayer, whether it's after the 3 days of fasting, whether it's after the 3 days where God tells you to wake up at a certain time and pray, whether it's 3 days of you actually telling your body, you know what? We are going to go to the threshing floor. We are actually going to spend 3 days sleeping on the floor because I am laying my life down for my brother, for my sister, for my spouse. I am coming off of comfort. I am coming off of what is good for me so that my body can come into submission of the Spirit and I can wage war. I can intercede. I can praise. I can do whatever it is that God tells me to do for the next person. So whatever it is that God tells you to do, whatever you do for 3 days, it will be very evident and you will see, you will perceive. So this is the word that I have for you guys. This is the beautiful word from God for you guys. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. Stay blessed. Be encouraged. Bless others. Pray for others, whatever it is that you are doing, wherever you are seeking favor. If you can sow in that favor into someone else's life, then do that. If you need something, give that thing to someone else. Be kind, guys. Be kind. Demonstrate love. You are a son, a daughter of God. God is love. God is love. And if God is love and you are made in his image, then you are love. So give that love. Demonstrate that love. Love people. Love those next to you. I don't even know why I'm going into that. But yeah, guys. So, beijo. Be blessed. And I'll see you guys on the next video.